Hello, welcome back to another fantastic episode of Social Inclusion. It's great to be here. It's TQ, Tommy Q, in the house. And for one, I'm wearing glasses. I need them to read you the important bits because I forget a fair bit. I probably remember more than I think, but that confidence of I suppose. Anyway, today we're going to be talking about mental toughness and resilience. And at a time like this, I really think it's really important for me to share this to you guys. I think it's a tough topic, but it's important. So I'll start this by telling you definition and in my opinion about it, and then we'll delve deeper. So the mental toughness, the definition by NCBI, is the process of adapting well in the face of adversity, trauma, tragedy, threats, or even significant sources of stress. Now, I feel just that quote is it's 100% correct, but the question I want to bring up is how long it took for me to overcome and still overcoming it. And to answer that question, I really don't know the answer to that because I'm still, like I said, overcoming it. When I had my stroke, I was certainly in a low point. Well, yeah, I was certainly in a low point. So when I came out of my coma 5 weeks, 2 days later, I didn't know where I was, my identity. I didn't know why. The why came later, but just my concept of time and space was what was going on? And it was like a video game, you press that button, go back to the start and everything's hunky-dory. Sadly, that wasn't the case at that time. And I think it was to do with shock. That was why I was so negative, and that was how my mentality was at the time. And really, after that shock came the why. That was when the why came in, why it happened to me and stuff. But that was ongoing for a long period of time. Anyway, so I'll give you an example of how low, one of my lowest points I feel in my life, that if I could do it again, I probably would. But then again, you learn from it, so it's 50-50. So anyway, I was with the physio. I was up in the hospital, 8th floor, the old hospital, and on my ward, and I must have fell over or something. I think we were in a wheelchair and they were trying to sit me up. I fell on the ground, and yeah, I just sat there and flat refused, and so threw a tantrum, of course, as a 12-year-old always does, or maybe it's just me, I'm not sure, and yeah, that's how the physios took me back to my bed, and I really had to contemplate life and realize myself whether I wanted to pursue it and overcome that or give up. And I'm here today, so that's pretty good. But yeah, and then like, I really think that was when the why came in. Like why it happened to me. But over time, I came to accept deal, look forwards. But I was still fluctuating, still having those down days, and I still have some down days. But that's where you got to rise above it. So that's why I say that thing about adaptation, like for each different individual, it's a different measurement of time, and it could be ongoing for the rest of your life, like it is for me. Now, skipping ahead a few years, well, quite a few years, like I was always getting more drive in myself, like playing table tennis and going over to MSAC to play table tennis, and like DSR winter camp, like that evolved to World Summer Camps. But like I always needed a prompt to do it, never having any really driven ambition to go out and pursue it on my own. And so year 12, I spread over 2 years, and second year I did year 12 PE, and there was one subject that was goal setting, and I hated it. It was the only one I didn't give a crap about. And how wrong I was, like, I think it was, what's the word, like, just, like, denying it, would be the word. But yeah, how wrong I was. Setting the goal to do Kokoda obviously changed my perspective. Reason I had to train for it. There was no if, buts, or maybe there was no shortcuts. And yeah, to achieve it, I had to do it. I had to put in the hard yards. But even then, I thought I was a bit undertrained. Possibly for two reasons, like maybe it was because I was overconfident. I was like, she'll be right, mate. Or the combination of that and the motivational lack on the pre-walking phase, the training phase, where I'll be like, yeah, she'll be right, I'll do it tomorrow, no stress. That kind of mental attitude. The moment I felt like I grew and learned from Kokoda as a person, like building up my tolerance, building up my resilience, like overcoming obstacles, was definitely not learning how to place my feet one after the other on the tree roots. But it was like looking up at the top and seeing the top, and like looking to my left and asking Tony, one of my porters, Ernest was on my right, like how far have we come, or how far have we got to go? And he'd simply say, not far. So in amongst the not far, what Tony would say, we'd had general chit chat, banter, conversations mainly on the flat or easy bits, but then on the hard bits that I had to focus on and take a lot of my concentration, a lot of my effort, and like overall, I would say that really helped me. Just a little bit of conversation here and there, everywhere, and yeah, it was really, it gave me a lot of confidence to do it because I wasn't alone, I suppose. And so I probably, if you want to name it terminology, like I'll probably call it little influences, little triggers that help me deal with that, the whole journey. So there's a place called Isurava. It's going from Owl's Corner to Kokoda. It's one of the last days, and it's got 4 pillars, and engraved on them there's each one. There's sacrifice, courage, endurance, and mateship. And to me, mateship stood out overall. Like it was so clear to me that, and so important to me, and that was one of the things I felt I learned from that experience. So I would also set mini goals because like it can get pretty boring walking 8Ks a day, taking 8 to 12 hours. It was a bit of a pain. Well, not a pain, just a bore, so I'd spice it up a bit. I like the chase where me and Tony and Ernest would leave at the crack of dawn after Rick had patched me feet up nice and good. That's terrible grammar. And like we'd go ahead, and then somewhere along the track, my dad, uncle, and Rick would overtake us, and I would literally for the rest of the day try my hardest, going at my own pace, trying to shave time and catch up to them. It never happened except for once, for a moment of time, where the crew, the second crew, were overtaking us at Brown. Next it was the wall, and I got to the base of the wall. So the wall is a sheer face, short, thin, pretty much vertical. Walk, and we were at the base, and I actually saw the whole crew just up ahead, and I actually made it my mission to do it. I mean, gain time on it, which I did for a split second, because if someone gives you puts doubt into my mind, I really relish it. I think that's the competitiveness in me. I'm not really that sure, but maybe. Because the porters were really questioning whether I could do it, and that was the incentive that I needed to actually achieve it, and which I did. But as a result of gaining time, racing up the wall, was I got a blood blister it was yuck, it was green, it was, had poison in it, it was disgusting. But Rick sorted it out for me. So all those little factors that I've just said, I feel is what has helped shape me and my resilience. Like, if I could sum it up in a few quotes that I remember, or pinging light bulbs when that's helped me cope with things, would be just ask a mate. Like, for me, there's always someone around who can help me. Elevation to the next level. Or you can't do it. If someone says you can't do it, for me, if someone says I can't do it, I'll try within my power to prove them wrong. Within my power, of course. And little influences, like those little conversations that triggers little things and influences, helps me to find the right path. And I better not forget goals. Goals are pretty important, and ambition. You've got to have, I've got to have ambition to motivate me to drive me to do it. Like big planning, like the 4 points. So the question I want to ask is like, you can, if you want, you can DM me or just ponder the question. Is, have you ever had a challenge or experience that seemed a bit overwhelming, and how did you cope with it? That's kind of what I wanna know, because it might be added tricks to my sleeves when I take on the 4 points. Like, when I'm tackling a big challenge such as the 4 points, it's enormous. Like, when I look at the whole picture, like the amount of time I have to spend on my bike, like I've looked, you know how Google Maps like gives you an estimated time. Well, I take a little bit longer, and it's something like 406 hours. So I'm thinking probably something along the lines of 800 hours. That's a freaking long time. Or like, even the amount of days it would take. Like, it's just a bit overwhelming for me. When I break it down, such as the first day, it doesn't actually look too bad. It's a 42k day, and it's from Steep Point to Kooragang. I think I got that right. But the only problem is it'll be on sand and gravel. It'll still probably be one of my toughest days of all, but I'm actually keen to tackle it. Anyway, that's enough from me. In the next few weeks, the next episode, I'll be talking about judgmentalism towards me and disability. So make sure to subscribe and to follow me on Instagram, Facebook. I'll add the links below, and don't miss the action. So peace out, and good chat.